obviously an incredibly exciting day for our athletic program and in particular for our Illinois softball team. Before we get into the substance of today, I just have to take a moment and reflect back a little bit. As you think back, I'm very proud that these events, these naming opportunities, these new buildings have become a little bit of a regular occurrence here over the last several years. You think back to December of 2017 with the Demersion family, and I had the opportunity to be with Richard just this weekend and to see now Demersion Park start to come up out of the ground, the steel taking shape. I hope everybody's had a chance to be down St. Mary's Road and to watch that building develop, the two new soccer fields. The track has now been demolished and awaiting reconstruction. That entire project will be done by this fall to benefit our soccer, men's and women's track and field, cross-country student athletes. I told Richard, and he and the Demersion family, along with Stu Levnick and his $5 million gift early in our football fundraising process, really helped to recalibrate, I think, the way that our donors think about Illinois athletics and philanthropy. And I think people now are realizing that if we want to compete on the field, on the court, wherever the competition may happen, that we can't do it just when we walk out to play the games. We've got to be willing to do it in every element of our program, and certainly that includes in fundraising as well. And we can't say enough wonderful things about the way people have stepped forward, rallied around this athletic program over these last years. It's been incredibly humbling. Following the Demersion announcement, fast forward to August of 2018, our great friends Chris and Dale Smith, with the most generous gift we've ever received in the history of our athletic program, $20 million to put the name of their parents, Henry, Dale, and Betty, on our new football center, of course now open across the street, which literally overnight changed the landscape for the Illinois football program. And then most recently, we were together in November of 2018 to celebrate a gift from Susie Atkins and the impact that could make on providing an indoor training space for our great baseball team. That project is now under design. We'll break ground later this year and have it finished in time for the 2022 baseball season. So if you do the math, that's 4 of these announcements in the last 26 months. Looking back at our last 2 fiscal years, we've had over $80 million come in the form of gifts and pledges, and I just can't thank people enough for their incredible generosity, how humbling that has been. Hats off to our development team, led by our Chief Development Officer, our Senior Associate Athletic Director, Howard Milton, and his entire group have just done an unbelievable job. There is no shortcut to fundraising. It is about relationships, it is about time, and they have put together incredible plans and executed flawlessly, and I can't thank them enough for everything they've done to move the needle for Illinois athletics. But most importantly, we have to thank the donors themselves, obviously, people who have stepped forward, individuals, families, and it's not just the people who are putting their names on the buildings, it's thousands and thousands of people every year who give generously to support this athletic program. And people may think, well, I don't have $3 million to support Illinois athletics, but every gift matters, whether it's $50, $100, $500. This is an effort that comes in numbers. It comes in quantity. It comes from the number of people who care about this Fighting Illini athletic program, and all of those people together are helping us move this program forward and helping us push the accelerator down ever more to the floor to make this thing go even higher. Every gift matters, no matter the size. But through all of those efforts together, we're now very proud to say that we're 80% of the way through our $300 million campaign goal that was set by the university, part of the With Illinois campaign, $2.25 billion. And again, kudos to our development team, but in particular to our donors for their incredible generosity in helping us get that far as we continue along this great trajectory. Before I switch gears and again talk about the great news from today, I would be remiss if I didn't first acknowledge the person who most of us consider to be the founding mother of Illinois softball, Shorty Eichelberger. When we talk about people who buy into a vision, people who support women's athletics in particular, and who have been instrumental in moving our program forward. Really, Shorty's name comes at the top of the list. She stepped forward with an incredibly generous gift in the late 1990s, just when we were starting this thing, this Illinois softball experiment. And of course, her name now adorns our wonderful field. So we're thrilled, Shorty, to have you here. Thank you for being a part of today. And she, of course, remains our most avid fan. Does not matter. On days like this, she would be sitting out there behind home plate watching every pitch. And so we're grateful to her for her continued support of the women competing in our softball program. Today, we celebrate the second landmark gift from the Martin family, led by Rex, his daughters Ashley and Alexis. Back in 2008, they made their first gift, which allowed for the creation of many amenities around Eichelberger Field, in particular the clubhouse, which contains our locker room, our lounge, our athletic training room. Today's second gift, in the amount of $3 million, will allow for the creation of one of the nation's finest indoor training facilities found anywhere. We're very proud of what this building will mean. And talk just a little bit about the building itself. The entire facility will cost roughly $6 million. It will have about 13,000 square feet under roof. A space of that size will allow us to have an entire infield indoors, which is unusual. Not a lot of facilities like that anywhere in the country, so that our team can practice, take infield, they can do pitching, they can hit, a lot of space. We'll also be expanding our lounges. We'll provide a nice front door for Illinois softball where we can tell the story of this now 21-year history of the program. We'll have storage, improved parking. I told the ladies today they'll actually get a paved lot. They don't have to park in the mud anymore, which I think they were excited about. Design is already underway. Thanks in large part to the generosity from the Martins, we've been able to accelerate this project forward and put it onto the same timeline as our baseball project. The two projects are sharing an architect. We're well into the design process. We'll break ground, as I mentioned, on baseball late this year. We'll break ground on the same schedule for softball. We'll have a lot of the same contractors working on the project, and will allow us to complete this project at the same time. It'll be late 21. We want to be into the building in time for the team to open their practices in winter of getting ready for the 2022 season. And again, all of this is made possible today by the very generous gift from the Rex and Alice A. Martin Foundation and from the Martin family. The gift, importantly, is made in memory of Rex's late wife, Ashley, and Alexis's late mother, Alice. Alice was a very proud graduate of this university. She earned her MBA here at Illinois. And in the time I got to spend with her, and I was very pleased to spend some significant time with her during the early years of my tenure here, she talked glowingly about what her experience at the University of Illinois meant. That was one of the most transformative periods of her life, and we're just so proud to be able to honor her memory. She passed away after an extended battle with cancer in December of 2017, but just a wonderful, wonderful woman. She was married to Rex for 33 years. They have two unbelievable daughters, so I'm excited, and all three of them could be with us today. She served in a variety of roles at NIBCO, which is the company that Rex's great-grandfather founded in Elkhart, Indiana in 1904, one of the largest fitting and valve companies in the world. And by the time, toward the end of her life, she was the chief revenue officer there at NIBCO, and also led their family foundation, which was incredibly instrumental and very supportive, in particular in the Elkhart area. Elkhart is a special place in my heart. It's where my mom grew up, and so I've spent a lot of time in Elkhart, Indiana. Never imagined that I would start making trips back there when I ended up in the athletic director chair here at Illinois. But really one of the true pleasures of the first years of my tenure here was getting to spend some time with Alice. She was just an unbelievably warm person, infectious personality, an incredible laugh. And underneath that all, she was unbelievably intelligent. She was driven. She was smart. And a very tough businesswoman. And I grew to respect her a great deal from our interactions. And certainly all of us who knew her continue to mourn her loss. And we're excited to be able to honor her legacy with this building. For those of you who follow our softball program, you'll know that we recognized Alice with the creation of our Softball Leadership Award back in, I believe it was November, maybe December of 2018. And just another great way to make sure that legacy lives on, and that the lessons that Alice had to teach are being passed along to our new generation of Fighting Illini. Before we break, and I invite Tyra Perry up here to talk, I just want to thank the Martin family, Rex, Ashley, and Alexis. Thank you so much. This incredible gift is truly changing our athletic program. And I know that none of you went to Illinois. I won't mention where some of you did go. But it's great to see that Alice infused some orange and blue blood in there, and that really means a great deal to us. And please know that even though Alice may no longer be with us, we consider to be a part of our family for the rest of time, and we look forward to continuing to have a great relationship with you in the years ahead. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts, on behalf of our student athletes, our coaching staff, all of us involved in this athletic program. You have made an incredible difference today, and that will not ever be forgotten. So thank you very, very much. With that, I will stop and bring up the head coach of our Illinois softball program, Tyra Perry. Tyra is someone who I think needs very little introduction. She's now in her 5th season leading our Fighting Illini softball program. Has taken us to the NCAA tournament, I believe, 3 times in her first 4 years. Gives a little nod, yeah, that's right. And really looking forward to her continued leadership of what I consider to be one of our rapidly ascending programs. So please welcome Tyra Perry.
Hello, everyone. I was overjoyed, excited, blessed to hear the news that the Martins had decided to make the lead gift on our indoor training facility. You know, as Josh mentioned before, there's a ton of projects going on. You know, by the way, it's a great time to be an Illini, right? With all the projects going on and all the new buildings. And I've always kind of had the mindset that when you go on a college campus and you see construction, then that's just a great sign of support and success. And, you know, they certainly had a lot of options, and, you know, they chose us. And not only did they choose us, they chose us for a second time. And that just means the world, just to me personally and to this program. I, too, had the opportunity to meet Alice, and I just gotten the job here, and we drove over, and you know, I knew that she was an alum and just a very successful woman, and I'm always in awe when I meet, you know, just these powerful, successful women. So I was really shy and really quiet, but she took me right in, and you know, it didn't miss me that, you know, she was very busy. And she, you know, took the time to talk to me. Kind of felt like she was checking my pulse a little bit, my orange and blue pulse, to make sure that, you know, hey, this young woman really loves Illinois. And, you know, she just in a short time really impacted my life, and just taught me a lot about, I felt her passion for just building strong women in business and in society. And she gave me 2 books that I hold dear to me and that I use. She gave me a lot of tips that I, you know, at that moment said, you know, I'm going to use these to bring back to my team and to my program, and I'm going to use these for the rest of my career and for the rest of my life. So I'm really thankful for Alice. As Josh mentioned also, I'm very thankful for Shorty Eichelberger, who's the mother of softball. We really think of her as, I think of her as my grandmother personally. So, you know, and all she's done to get the ball rolling. You know, now you can look on television and see, you know, softball everywhere. But at the time, you know, where both of these families decided to invest in our success, softball wasn't very popular. So again, it just means a lot that you know, look at us at softball and saw something there and decided to join in. So thank you so much for that. As I was thinking about like overall remarks, I started thinking about just being the coach of an outdoor sport in the Midwest region, and just how much having an indoor space and kind of having that one-stop shopping feel, how great that's going to be. You know, right now we start in February, which is winter, basically. They call us a spring sport, but that's winter. And, we get our players to come back. They come back in January, and it's cold, and it's snowy, and it's icy. And, now that we will have, a training facility right there to where, we don't have to shift our equipment back and forth and fight the weather per se. It's just going to be a great thing, for us. And even with camps, we're hosting camps, and we don't have to worry about the rain. We have a place for our campers to go. When recruits come in, we'll have a wonderful space, and it just gives me joy, and I hope you can, this is me happy. Hope you can see that. Just to think about, those opportunities that our young present student athletes will have and the ones in the future will have. It's a great thing. So thank you so much for everything that you guys have done for us, and we really appreciate just what you're willing to invest in our program, and our hearts are full. Thank you.
Now it gives me a lot of pleasure to bring up the patriarch of the Martin family, Rex Martin. Rex, as I mentioned, his family, his great-grandfather founded NIBCO back in 1904. And Rex has been a part of the company now for more than 40 years. He serves as the president, CEO, and has just been an absolute friend to this program for as long as I've been around. And it has been a pleasure for me to get to know him and be a part of his life and have him share some of these memories and experiences that we've had here in the last several years. So I'd like to invite Rex to come up and again express our thanks for all that he's done.
Thank you. Can you hear? Is that good? Okay. It's a pleasure to be here, and since Josh brought it up, I think the way I'll start is by singing the Indiana University fight song. But really, I'll go back to when Alice and I first got married. We talked about the future, about a lot of things, but one of the things we did say is if and when we get the ability to donate money, that we'd each pick one educational institution that had the biggest impact on our lives. I chose my high school. She chose the University of Illinois. She was, I think I know you two. Yeah. Yeah. She had got an MBA from the University of Illinois, and she felt that changed her life in a major way. And so she picked the University of Illinois. And so we thought about how are we going to help the University of Illinois over the years. And she was also passionate about women and women's causes. And so we still thought about it. And finally, we came up with the idea of women's softball. Maybe we didn't come up with it. Somebody might have told us about that. But we then made that contribution. And now, after she's gone, we decided to make a contribution in her memory and honor her. Because, as I said, she was very interested and motivated to help women be equals. And I have two daughters. I want that just as much. And I think they are equals if they're not even smarter than us men. But so we've made this donation to the university for kind of two causes: to help the softball athletic women's softball team, but also to give them the same opportunity that Alice got from the University of Illinois. And really that was learning things other than just academics. It's leadership, it's teamwork. It is working hard and being successful, and it is working hard and sometimes failing, and you got to pull yourself up off the ground and get back and continue to work hard. So it is really an honor for me and my family, my daughters, to come here and help the university. Go Illini.
It was incredibly special to have the opportunity for the team to meet the Martin family this afternoon, spend a little time with them, celebrate Alice's memory. One thing that Rex didn't mention, which I appreciated, was he said, I really look forward to coming back here and seeing some Big Ten championship trophies in this locker room. So make no mistake, this is a competitive business, and all of us, I think, have the same goals and the same vision for the direction that this softball program is headed, and certainly want the Martins to know that they helped us take a significant step in that direction today.